Wilbur boast. A spider web is stronger than it looks. All through it made of thin, delicate strand. A web is not easily broke. However, a web gets torn every day by the insects that kick around in it. And a spider must rebuild it when it gets full of holes. Charlotte liked to do her work, weaving during the late afternoon. And friend liked to sit nearby and watch. On one afternoon, she heard the most interesting conversation and witnessed an strange event. You have awful hairy legs, Charlotte, said Wilbur, as the spider busily worked at her task. My legs are hairy for a good reason, replied Charlotte. Furthermore, each leg of mine has 7 sections: the coxa, the trochanter, the femur, the patella, the tibia, the metatarsus, and the tarsus. Wilbert sat boiled upstairs. You kidding, he said. No, I'm not either. Said those names again. I didn't catch them the first time. Coxa, trochanter, femur, patella, tibia, metatarsus, and the tarsus. Goodness, said Wilbur, looking down at his own chubby legs. I didn't think my legs have 7 sections. Well, said Charlotte, you and I lead different lives. You don't have to spin a web. That takes real legwork. I could spin a web if I tried, said Wilbur, boasting. Just never tried. Let's see you do it, said Charlotte. Friend shook it softly, and her eyes grew wilder with love for the pig. Okay, replied Wilbur. You coach me, and I spin one. It must be a lot of fun to spin a web. How do I start? Take a deep breath, said Charlotte, smiling. Wilbur breathed deeply. Now, climb to the highest place you can get to, like this. Charlotte raced up to the top of the doorway. Wilbur scrambled to the top of the miniature pile. Very good, said Charlotte. Now, make an achievement with your spinner. Hold yourself into place and let out the dragline as you go down. Wilbur slimed a moment, then jumped out into the air. He glanced hesitantly behind to see if a piece of rope was following him to check his fall, but nothing seems to be happening in his rear. And the next thing he knew, he landed with a thump. Whoop! Whoop! He grunted. Charlotte laughed so hard that she began to sob. What did I do wrong? Asked the pig when he recovered from his bump. Nothing, said Charlotte. It was a nice try. I think I'll try again, said Wilbur cheerfully. I believe what I need is a little piece of string to hold me. A pig walked outside to the yard. You're there, Tumplin, he called. The rat poked his head out from the under and through. Got a little piece of string. I could borrow, asked Wilbur. I need to spin a web. Yes, indeed, replied Templeton, who saved string. No trouble at all. Anything to oblige. He crept down into the hole, pushed the goose egg out of the way, and returned with an old piece of dry white string. Wilbur exclaimed it. That's just that thing. That's just the thing, he said. Tie one end of my tail. Will you, Templeton? Wilbur crouched low with his thin, curly tail towards the rat. Templeton sights the string, passed it around an end of the pig's tail, and tried to half-hatched. Charlotte watched to light friend. She was truly found for Wilbur. Those smelly pens and scales food attached the flies that she needed, and she was proud to see that he was not quit and was willing to try again to spin a web while the rat and the spider and the little girl watched. Wilbur climbed again to the top of the miniature pile, full of energy and hopes. Everybody watched. He cried and summoning all his strength, he threw himself on the air head first, and the string tailed behind him. But as he hadn't neglected to fasten the other end to anything, it didn't really do any good, and Wilbur landed with a thud, crushed and hurt. Tears came to his eyes. Templeton grinned. Charlotte sat quietly. After a while she spoke. You can't spin a web, Wilbur, and I advise you to put the idea out of your mind. You lack two things needed for spinning a web. What are they? Asked Wilbur sadly. You lack a set of pincers, and you lack know-how. But cheer up, you didn't need a web. Zuckerman replied, you will 3 big meals every day. Why should you worry about trapping food? Wilbur sighed. You'll never so much clever and bright than I am. Charlotte, I guess I was just trying to show off. Serve me right.